My goodness, I'm having a lot of technical issues, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where it is time for race number 6 of the WRLA Menard's Truck Series. It is the 6th annual, or maybe 5th. It's actually the 5th annual Indiana Bash. You know, this is a tradition that started when the 2020s began, of course, in the very, very odd year, 2020 of all years, during COVID. And this was during when the NIRA was around at the time. We decided to kind of add on to the Indianapolis festivities, of course, right around Memorial Day weekend. But it is the Indiana Bash, and we've been doing this since 2020. Took a break from it in 2021, brought it back in 2022 as a points race for the RCOM Papa John's Truck Series, and then didn't run it again until just another 2 years later in 2024, when it was its own exhibition race, and then once again last year. It is just absolutely unbelievable to see this race come back, this time as a points race for the Menard's Truck Series, and I'm actually kind of thankful for that, because we get to keep the tradition going for the Indiana Bash. And, you know, as far as that's concerned, you know, you still get to see some good racing with these trucks here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Of course, I am not alone. Joining me here for the call of the race is Wyatt Walker. And Wyatt, what's going on, man? How are things going at Charlotte?
Oh, everything's going all right. Getting prepared for the race, and I just thought if I'm able to come by and help you call the race for the truck race.
Well, I will definitely say that you were one of those that actually took to the track to try to qualify for the race. Unfortunately, things did not quite go your way here, so you will not be pulling double duty as a driver for here in Indianapolis, and then this Saturday for the Coke 600 at Charlotte. But you have raced here in Indianapolis before, as well as several other drivers that are here for tonight here in this truck race that we'll see later on in the year when we come back here in August. What are some things that you know about Indianapolis Motor Speedway and how to tackle this racetrack? And what do you think that these drivers will have to do here for tonight?
Well, I don't know a lot, to be honest with you. We raced for a few years, but I know it's it's a pretty hard track to get across, and just gotta hit your marks good in all four of these turns, and make sure you're at the very end to kiss the bricks.
Well, certainly, I would definitely have to agree with that here. That is, of course, Wyatt Walker. He'll be here with me for this race, and has definitely raced here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway just last year for the NOS Energy Cup Series. And of course, we'll be back here in August for NOS Energy Cup festivities, as well as Xfinity, while the trucks take to IRP at that same time. Let's go ahead and take a look at your point standings coming into this race. It is Emmanuel Hartnett that holds on to the points lead, just over Michael Davis by at least a dozen points, currently separating first and second. Tyler Ferris, who is the highest running driver in the point standings that is yet to score a win, surprisingly enough. He is third with 132 points. Our Las Vegas winner, Wayne Lopez, fourth with 131. Shada Martin, fifth with 125 points. Then Joshua Cornish, sixth with 123. He'll be back to NOS Energy Cup racing full-time in 2027. Big news there for him. And then Michael DeFeo with 120 points to his name. He's in seventh. Then in eighth is Bruno Diacomo with 113, David Byers with 111, and Haley Tolis rounding out your top 10 with 110 points. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of your points standings coming into this weekend here, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely a good amount of drivers. I mean, I think at least half the field almost, or it's getting close to that point, but almost half the field in the full-time running order is currently in the triple digits. So it's definitely going to be very, very interesting to see how the rest of these point standings go. There you see Liam Davis and Elijah Gordon all the way at the bottom of the points ladder. Of course, Gordon having himself a very awful season here in the Menards Truck Series. 44 points for him. But I don't even know where else to really begin here. But the point standings are actually pretty interesting to say the least, and they're pretty close. Not as, but definitely nothing like the NOS Energy Cup points, where you have a little bit of, we have a lot more ties. I will definitely say going into this Saturday's race for the Cup side. But here for trucks, not a lot of points because there's not a lot of races, not a lot of opportunities to try to capitalize on some really good points, but definitely still makes for a very interesting battle. Here's a look at your starting lineup here for tonight's race. You have Tyler Ferris on the pole position, Brock Nelson alongside. They'll be leading the field with the green flag. And then you have Chase McClure and Noah Clifton in row number 2. We'll see Clifton this Saturday at Charlotte. Bruno Diacomo, Sam and Oskin, they make up the third row. Then Max Anderson, Wayne Lopez in row 4. Carter Friesen and David Byers complete your top 10. And then you have Liam Davis and Noah Shastow, Michael DeFeo, Foster Henderson, Joshua Cornish and Bradley Ream, Sarah Taylor and John Andrews. And then we'll have Chris Reynolds and Mercedes Davis. That is your top 20. And then we have Carson Green and Eli Bright, Kelsey Higdon and Billy Kidd, Bryce Egan and Michael Davis, our Martinsville winner. Then Harley Higdon and Haley Tolis. And then Eric Monaco and Ronald House. That is your top 30. And finally, from 31st down to 36, you have Shauna Martin, Alex Richards, Carson Miller, our points leader, Emmanuel Hartnett, starting 34th in this race. So he's going to have a lot of work cut out for him if he wants to try to keep his points lead. And then Elijah Gordon and Jesse Turner. And this is definitely going to be a very interesting one from here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our points leader starting all the way back in 34th, Wyatt. It's definitely going to have a lot of work to cut out for him if he wants to try to keep his points lead.
Yes, he does. Starting in what place did you say he started at again?
34th.
Do you apologize?
34th.
Yeah, he has a lot. Yes, has a long way to go coming from the back, but if he keeps it heading and if keeps avoiding all the crashes, he will be just fine. He may still even make it to the top 10 and keep his points lead. Who knows?
All righty, let's go trackside to get the command to fire these 36 engines for race number 6, the Indiana Bash.
Drivers, start your engines!
You know, I almost thought that we were having some technical issues down there, but command is given, engines are fired, pace truck is rolling off, and so are these 36 contenders. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn to you, Wyatt, because this is definitely going to be a very interesting one. 40 laps around this 2.5 mile historic facility. I must ask, is there anybody that you're keeping an eye on here for this event?
Oh, I've been keeping an eye on the truck series for a good little bit, and I'd say right now, where all the tech is, I'm keeping an eye on all the Thor Sport crew. I'm also keeping an eye on the Davis family racing. They're doing pretty well in the Cup Series. And when they're, excuse me, I do apologize, losing my train of thought for a second, but they're doing pretty well in the Cup Series with Mercedes and Ryan, and now some of their cars with Michael and Liam in this race. They're doing pretty well. One of them second in points, so got their eyes on them. But Thor Sports starting so high, they got a good chance. So It's pretty interesting. It'll be pretty interesting to see who comes off top.
Of course, Michael Davis, he won at Martinsville to finally nab his first Truck Series win. He'll be starting a little bit further back here in this event, and there's Liam Davis in the 19. He's just starting outside of the top 10 in the 11th position. We're going to have to watch for him. The Indiana Bash has always been a very historic one because we would always run the trucks, and the trucks would always do pretty well, if I may say, here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we're getting ready to have it once again, this time here in the Menard Truck Series. Pace truck is off. Tyler Ferris and Brock Nelson are going to lead the field down to the green flag to get race number 6 underway from here at Indianapolis. Oh, they're 3 wide coming off of turn number 2. 3 wide here is always pretty treacherous. And you got Bradley Ream in the middle in that 88. Foster Henderson up top. And that's Chris Reynolds in the 26 on the bottom side. Can they get this sorted out? Midway through turn 3. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
They touch. They're
Oh,
touching.
Carson Green and Ream making contact off of 4.
Teammates.
And ooh, they're still bumping doors off of each other. They're coming onto the front straightaway. That was Chastow and Ream that made contact coming off of 4, but they keep it straight. They keep it from they stay out of 3 wide, and we're still green.
That was pretty good that he kept it. That's some good racing with all of them trying to keep it out of the way. We're not. There was a cause of caution. Looks like we're about to have another 3 wide, but I can see that 19 trying to move up in the field. But we got the 42 coming up as well, and here he goes trying to make it around the inside of the 42.
Yeah,
that is 19. I should mention.
For 4th. Liam Davis down to the inside. Remember, he started 11th in this race, and he's already moved up 7 spots within the last 2 laps. Still trying to fight alongside the 42 of Byers. You got Sarah Taylor on the outside in the back, and there's Joshua Cornish in the 17. He's already moving up inside of the top 10, and up front, 3 trucks have broken away. That's Chase McClure in the 98, Bruno Diacomo, and 1 truck into the wall. Again, that's Bradley Ream. This time a little bit of damage to the right side of his machine as they come off of turn number 2, but that's starting to back up a good amount of trucks as they hit the back straightaway.
We talk about like Liam Davis is having a great start moving the positions. Bradley Ream is just falling back after, as you mentioned, in contact with the wall. Looks like he's getting it together, but hopefully he can bounce back and have a shot to get up here, or he ends up falling back.
Just shy of the top 10 as of right now. It looks like Bradley Ream definitely, I think he fell from, I want to say from inside the top 10, obviously, to down to 13th, as you can see here. Our front row sitters didn't actually fare all that well in the start of that one. Tyler Ferris just went from the pole all the way down to 14th. And Brock Nelson went from 2nd all the way back here in this little mess right here.
Oh, wow.
In 19th position.
Not a good, like you said, not a good start for any of the leaders. I guess they just didn't have a great start, but looks like I think a battle for the lead here with the 8 over the what is it, the 98?
This is Bruno Diacomo in the 9 to the inside for the top position. Give him the bonus point. That's Bruno Diacomo going to the point over Chase McClure. You got Liam Davis right there in the 2nd position. Now he's going to gun for the lead coming off of turn 1. Now off the short chute into the 2nd corner, trying to clear up to cover the spot, and he will. New race leader. It's Liam Davis in the 19.
I feel like there might be a little bit of pressure on Liam Davis because both of his teammates, one got the win by I'm going to say light shortened race at Atlanta, Echo Park, whatever you want to call it. And then, like you mentioned before, Michael got the win at Martinsville. Liam is the only full-time driver has not won yet, and I think with how well this race is going early in the stage, he might have a shot.
And I do want to make a little correction. That was at Minnesota. That was when Haley Tullis got the win over there in a sort of light shortened event. So I guess we had a little bit of an overcharge with the lights all around the racetrack. But you saw a lot of fighting going on there for third. That's Carter Friesen breaking out in that third position. DeFeo now up to fourth, and Sarah Taylor, we'll see her tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series. She's going to the inside to take over the race lead, going in through turn number 4. Look at Friesen trying to make something happen down there on the bottom side.
Friesen almost made it 3-1, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a run clear and gets past it. Nope, he's pulling up behind Liam. I thought he would have like a run to get on the inside and make it 3 wide, but I guess he's holding off for a bit.
And now he shifts down to the bottom, and now this time he's going to go for the top position. Heading through turn 2, he's going to bring Michael DeFeo in the 33 with him. Byers and Liam Davis now fighting it out. Looks like that's for the 4th position. And then you have the 38, Max Anderson, to the inside of Noah Shestau. Some of these drivers, I will say, such as Max Anderson, for instance, they need runs like this if they really want to start moving their way up in the point standings, because just as we reviewed, Max Anderson is pretty low in the standings. So Anderson definitely going to need a really good run here tonight, as will several other of our contenders, such as Liam Davis. Davis, for sure, will need a great run if he wants to start moving his way up in the standings. And so far, top 5, almost a fifth of the way through this race, and he is doing... Oh, crash! Oh, my God! What in the world did I just see? That's a huge one.
Not to mention, like 3 cars just flipped. I see the nut. Is that the 90? Yeah,
that is Mercedes Davis upside down.
Mercedes.
Bruno.
I saw the 34 Bryce Egan upside down. I didn't catch who the last one was. Oh,
and Chase McClure was caught up in that one, as was Haley Tullis in the 81. Lots of damage to the front end of her truck. As up front, race back to the line. It's going to be won by Carter Friesen in the 13 machine. But my goodness, that was a lot of trucks that got absolutely massacred in the short chute of the exit of turn 1.
I gotta be at least like not at least 15. I couldn't see who all was involved. I saw the 17 was in that well. I do not know who. I can't tell you who else got involved. Like you said, we saw that Haley Tullis got involved. We saw that you said Chase McClure.
Yeah, there's McClure in the 98 limping his way onto pit road. I saw the 34 Bryce Egan just get wedged into the wall on the exit of turn 1. You see Joshua Cornish collected. There's John Andrews on the 25. Lots of damage, a good amount of damage to the Ram machine. Diacomo, Mercedes Davis, Billy Kidd. There was basically a lot of trucks. And keep in mind, Wyatt, these are about 3,500-pound trucks that just ricocheted up into the air. Absolutely wild, wild, wild pictures that we just saw here in the Indiana Bash.
I think part of me is actually glad that I didn't make this race. No disrespect to anyone else, but I think I'll have a little bit more calmness as when we get ready for our first pit stops of the day.
You know, I also got to say that Russell Blaze was here and he was trying to qualify. He missed the race, and I think he is definitely taking a huge sigh of relief as well. But my goodness, I've never seen anything like that. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that since probably the very early days of the Indianapolis 250, where, you know, you had a lot of cars that just flipped and just went violently up into the air. And I mean, even in the Indianapolis 100 a good several years ago, I mean, we saw that back in the day, and lots of 2-tire stops, actually. Looks like Carter Friesen's going to win the race off of pit road right there. Sarah Taylor's going to come out in second. Then in third will be Liam Davis. Looks like Eric Monaco, I think he was on pit road prior to that, but he comes out fourth. Max Anderson comes out 5th, then Michael DeFeo 6th, then in 7th will be David Byers. Carson Green will come out 8th, Harley Higdon 9th, and then completing your top 10 coming out of the pits will be Noah Shastal. Let's go ahead and review what happened that caused that first caution. And I had a feeling it would take a little bit until we had our first yellow, because with the racing that we saw and with the tire wear kind of being as abrasive as it was, you kind of just had a feeling that something like that was bound to happen at some given point. And ladies and gentlemen, it is it's actually caught on here, but let's go ahead and follow along here with Bruno D. Actually, let's give it a second. Actually, want to make sure. Okay, we're good. But you see here, watch the 34. I wonder, yeah, it looks like right here, a little bit of 3Y that just got formed. Look at the 88 of Bradley Ream getting into the left rear quarter panel of Giacomo. And at the same time, Bryce Egan was drifting up the racetrack, and look at this ride. It's just on from here at this point. Look at these trucks just go flying up into the air.
Oh, I didn't even see the 17 go flying. And just, that is crazy. The 34 stuck on the cat's fence. You got all these cars piled up. There's where Mercedes gets tagged, and I can't tell. She got tagged by her friend Haley Tullis, and that's what flipped her upside down. I see the 52 of Alex Richards is in the back there. The 76.
Yeah, Shauna Martin's driving out of that one.
Shauna Martin.
Foster Henderson, Billy Kidd.
Yeah, I do apologize if I butcher some of these names in advance.
My God.
But that was a wild ride.
Absolutely insane ride. I don't think this is just beyond anything that I personally would have ever seen here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Chelsea Higgins, that blue car on the bottom, she barely avoided this.
She just narrowly escaped death right here. Just had a little bit of contact from Bradley Ream, but that's all that it was.
Oh, God.
My goodness gracious. Just look at these.
At least 17's in the air.
And the 34, mind you, for a brief second was caught in the catch fence. But holy cow, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Michael Davis. Remember, runner-up in the points standings, rocketing around the outside, snaking around the outside.
Barely making contact.
And I believe our points leader, Emmanuel Hartnett, was ahead of this when it all happened. Let's go ahead and locate our points leader.
I think Elijah Gordon barely got any contact in that. He just waited, was in the middle of it, and he didn't get any contact.
Let's go ahead and get a slow-mo here with Emmanuel Hartnett. Remember, he comes in as the points leader. He's in the middle of this pack. And there's all the trouble that happens right ahead of him. Wow, right underneath a Bruno Giacomo. He just went underneath Giacomo. Wow. Let's get a look from the visor cam. Get a load of this.
Oh,
wow,
my
look at
Lord.
the 25. There's a little bunny hop there.
I bet that would add to the Ryan Priest compilation of him going airborne.
Oh my goodness. I think this would add to the compilation of craziest moments that happened in WRLA history, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to look at this in full speed, but just absolutely look at the absolute chaos that unravels right here. And there's our points leader. He just went underneath a Bruno Giacomo, as did John Andrews. Andrews got the worst end of that one when it came to that battle. So Hartnett had better be thanking John Andrews for biting the bullet there when it came to a flying Bruno Giacomo. That is just absolutely unbelievable of what we just witnessed here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I don't know if Elijah Gordon got any contact, but if it was, it barely got any, and he just squeaked by that unscathed. But holy crap, that was a massive crash, and like the first part of the race too. That wiped out a lot of cars.
Well, there's
trucks,
Gordon.
I do apologize.
Well, there's Gordon. He's back out on the racetrack, but I think he's going to be at least, well, he's on the lead lap, so he should be okay. But there are going to be several trucks, of course, that are out of it. Bryce Egan, John Andrews, Bruno Giacomo, add his name to the list. Chase McClure with an oil pump issue on the 98 machine. That's what went awry as he got involved in that crash. Also out of the race, Billy Kidd and Joshua Cornish. Joining them will also be Bradley Ream, Eli Bright, and Shauna Martin. And I wouldn't be surprised if Monaco and Mercedes Davis followed as well. Wayne Lopez and Brock Nelson are also out of this one. Actually, looks like Mercedes Davis is going to continue on.
That's actually kind of a shock. She was upside down, and I guess it got the truck repaired enough to continue on. That's dedication.
We bring that up, and that also kind of reminds me of 2023 when the season opener was at the Michigan International Speedway in April. Yes, the season back then started in April. Kind of a wild month to kind of start off a season, but it was me and Josh. We called the race. We were calling that race. And Braden Perez had been involved in a huge crash. In fact, he flipped pretty wildly, or at least did one flip in the midst of a huge accident coming off of turn number 2. Braden Perez was still able to drive the car back, get the car repaired as if nothing happened to it, and he kept going. Unfortunately, he got involved in another incident that took him out, but still, I mean, this is exactly what that reminds me of, as Davis is back on pit road.
But still, that is still some dedication. Hopefully, she could be able to get this truck repaired enough to even have to continue the race, but she's back on pit road. Looks like she's going to get a little bit of repairs in. Especially good for some of these drivers who, sorry to cut you off again, some of these drivers who will be coming to Indy in the next later on in the season, like Mercedes getting track time and getting some knowledge. I think that's the reason why she's trying to repair the truck as much as she can.
And there are also going to be several other drivers that are competing in this race that we're also going to see later on in the year. Of course, we got several of the truck drivers that are also going to take part in, or at least going to attempt to try to make the Cup race later on in August. Of course, you have the Davises, Liam and Michael. They're going to try to get into the race. Eric Monaco, he's full-time in the Cup Series. We'll see him this Saturday at Charlotte, but he will also be here in August competing as he is running for the championship. Michael DeFeo, we'll see him later on in August. And, there's going to be several drivers that are competing in this race as they are for points. Some drivers like the Cup guys, like Monaco and also Mercedes Davis, that are just here to learn and also here to have a good time before they head back to Charlotte and get ready for their Coca-Cola 600. As the field now works their way down the back straightaway, you see the lights are out on the pace truck, and the only truck right now on the inside line is Eric Monaco. Mercedes Davis, I believe, there she is, making her way back out on the racetrack, so she'll be joining the field for the restart. Carter Friesen is your current race leader. Then in second is Sarah Taylor. Running in third is Liam Davis. Max Anderson running in fourth. Michael DeFeo in fifth. Then in the sixth position is the 42 of David Byers. In seventh is Carson Green. Running in eighth is Harley Higdon. In ninth is Noah Shastal. And completing your top 10 is Kelsey Higdon. Again, no relation to Harley and Kelsey. They just both happen to share the same last name. Kind of like Robbie Gordon and Jeff Gordon. No relation between the both of them. They just happen to share the same last name.
Unless you're Walker Family Racing, then we're everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere. Pace truck is off, and here we go again. We have a couple trucks on the inside line. Let's see how this restart goes as Carter Friesen leads them down. Oh, wow, the 20 and the 91 absolutely driving as if they have parachutes tied to the back end of their trucks. They did not go on that restart. Oh, Michael Davis.
That was close.
Close call for him.
Inside lane.
Oh my goodness, and they're holding up Jesse Turner, who won at Charlotte last Thursday, as well as several other trucks. Gordon, Carson Miller, Richards, Tolis, Samet Oskin, Foster Henderson. A lot of those trucks absolutely getting held up as Friesen holds on to the race lead. Fight for third is on. Here comes Max Anderson to the inside, trying to also get up to Sarah Taylor in the 5 as well as they come off of turn number 4. And it looks like 2 trucks break away momentarily, make that 3 as Anderson clears all traffic for now.
We got a couple packs now for them. We got this big old pack. We had another one a little back. I saw one car by itself, and I think a few other cars behind it. But this is going to be a great battle. Liam Davis is on the inside of the 30, I believe it's the 38.
That is indeed the 38. Yes, Max Anderson, yes, Harley Higdon in the 31, looking to follow in the tire tracks in the 19. Meanwhile, up front, challenge for the lead is on. Here comes Sarah Taylor in the 5, down to the inside. Ooh, Harley Higdon almost thinking about taking a 3 abreast coming through the short chute, but thinks better of it because everybody who competed in the Indianapolis 250 in years past would know 3 wide here at Indianapolis just does not work whatsoever. It doesn't even work in a stock car either.
But they're trying it, though. They're at least trying to get close to 3 wide in the corners, but they're keeping it smart.
Oh, big crash in the back. 2 trucks into the wall. It's actually Chris Reynolds in the 28 or 26 and Max Anderson. A huge problem for the 38 machine, as he now takes it down to the inside and keeps it off of the racing surface. We say green, but that also just broke the pack up a little bit more. Mercedes Davis back out on track, and now she's going right back to pit road, and Michael Davis around.
And the 42.
Oh my goodness gracious. Watch out for that 18 machine as Byers has to take it to pit road. Caution waves on lap 16. It was Sarah Taylor that led him back to the caution. Wow, that got pretty chaotic really quickly.
Yes, it did. Holy crap. We were just talking about like Mercedes going up pit road. Next thing you know, I see the 18 get sideways. Unless your name is Liam Davis, tough break for Davis racing. This race.
My goodness gracious. Tonight, they're just having loads of bad luck here. You got Haley Tolis still in the race. Good news. Same goes for Mercedes Davis, but Davis is making a lot of repeated trips down to pit road. Haley Tolis still running. She's trying to get the most amount of points that she can get. Michael Davis went around. But Liam Davis is probably the only other one that has been keeping the nose clean and has kept it out of trouble. And we might have ourselves some split strategies here, ladies and gentlemen, as the field is now getting ready for their pit service.
I'd say this is good for the 38 though, because like they had their little incident in turn on the back straightaway. Now this caution comes out, they're still with them, and they come to pit. They're definitely going to come to pit road, get some repairs and stuff, and this actually saved them.
And there were several trucks that did stay out there. You saw them go by on the left-hand side of your screen. Liam Davis in this 19 was indeed one of them. But my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, let's review. Let's look at it. Let's take a look at what happened to Michael Davis that caused that second caution. I would have to believe it might have been some last-minute 3-wide maneuvers that definitely took place. And indeed it was, actually. I think it might have just been other drivers trying to take evasive action from Mercedes Davis that was who was already on the racetrack and was already making her way down to pit road. But look at this. Here comes Michael DeFeo on that 33 as the 18 and the 42 just overshoot turn 4. That allowed DeFeo an opportunity to take it 3 wide, but that's not the thing that really causes the caution here. It's Byers and Davis that go up the turn 4 area and right into the outside wall, entering the front straightaway. And of course, these two trucks go around. Shockingly, Carson Green doesn't even get into it. And even our points leader, Emmanuel Hartnett, once again, snaking around the outside in the number 7.
So one thing I said about Emmanuel Hartnett in the beginning of this race, the one thing you gotta do is try to keep that points lead, is try to keep your nose clean and try to avoid all these wrecks. And the person who's second at points just crashed. So that has to give a little bit of a relief for Emmanuel Hartnett.
I would definitely have to agree with that. Let's, Hartnett has kind of been a part of a highlight reel, as of recently. So here we go again. This time we're actually going to do the hood cam and actually get a nice look as the seas sort of part for him. You can't even see through that smoke there. Jerks the wheel to the right, sees Michael Davis, goes up high a little bit more and almost made contact with that 18. And look at Gordon coming up with a full head of steam, just trying to get around Chris Reynolds.
That's twice that Gordon's avoided crashes the last few wrecks. But good job for him being the wheel man.
My goodness gracious. And also, good news, though, is that this was only just a 2-truck incident coming off of 4. Thank goodness. And also, I think, even Byers just made a lot of contact there with the end of the pit wall. But here, let's actually slow this down here before we get ready to go back to live action. There's the 42 of Byers. He's spinning. He's going to take out Chris Dodd right here. And then he's just going to make contact with the right front fender right there. And then gets up into Mercedes Davis before hitting the wall again as he's trying to make his way down to pit road.
Man.
My goodness gracious. Let's actually go ahead. Let's do an encore onboard, and this time go on board with Carson Green here in this 99. We're actually going to go with a visor cam on this one. And, well, hang on tight. Wow. Beautiful heads-up driving.
Yeah, I'm curious what happened with the 38 a little before that. Of what all happened in the back straightaway.
Well, let's actually go ahead and take a look at that, because that incident that happened there between the 38 and the 26 is actually kind of something else I've been a little bit curious about, because I don't even know what happened to Max Anderson and Chris Reynolds, but we're actually going to go back and let's dissect this, because that was kind of an interesting incident that wound up happening between the both of them. And here we go. Let's actually, I think that also another thing is I think that incident might have been Max Anderson's saving grace for that, because he was trying to limp his way back onto pit road as the caution came out. But here, let's take a look at what happened to Max Anderson. I wonder if he got bumped by David Byers here. Actually, no. Look at Reynolds in the 26. Oh, wow. He just shot.
Oh.
Wow. He just overshot the corner right up into Byers and then just door slammed the 38. Another thing I'm kind of wondering.
Sorry to cut you off. Byers has been like involved in both of those.
You know, another thing that I'm kind of curious about is I wonder if there was a potential tire that was going down for Chris Reynolds, because even after he just body slammed Max Anderson, he just kept going up into the wall. That was kind of interesting of what happened there. But
and there's the 42. So that was not a good lap for the 42. Went from like being involved in the ping pong with the 38 and the 26, like you mentioned, probably a tire gone down, and then just being involved in the last spin with Michael Davis.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. It's actually kind of unfortunate of how all that happened, but nonetheless. Had some split strategies here under this caution. Some drivers came in, some drivers stayed out. One of which being Liam Davis here in this number 19. As he'll be leading the field back to the green flag with Harley Higdon in second, Kelsey Higdon third, Noah Chastel fourth, Tyler Ferris rounding out your top five, and then it's Michael DeFeo in sixth, Carson Green in seventh. Then in eighth will be Elijah Gordon. Ninth will be the 41 of Ronald House and Emmanuel Hartnett rounding out your top 10. You know, Hartnett started this race back in the 34th position, and since then he has gained 24 spots up to this particular point, and might have a little bit of troubles on his hands, because look at the 41. Once we go to this next camera shot, that truck does not have a hood, and this is definitely going to prove to be very, very, very troublesome here for Hartnett, as he'll be trying to work his way around this number 41 once we get this race back going.
Yeah, but don't look now. Look a couple trucks behind. We got, I believe, we got Mercedes Davis, and I think it's the 30. That's the other one. He correct me on that, the green car. But those two are the ones that were lapped down. Last caution. If we're getting one to go, you'd be right up next to it, and then you saw how slow they were. Oh, that's the 20. I do apologize, the wrong number. But they were lapped down, and next time by, I believe, will be one to go.
And next time
when
around,
they get up there, they were not up to speed. So will that play another factor in this, and how many more cars will be lapped down after this?
And that's also another thing when it comes to the trucks that sustained enough damage to where they don't have hoods on their race trucks, is that some of them aren't on the lead lap, like Ronald House, for instance. Even Foster Henderson, Haley Tolis, they do not have hoods on their race machines. Neither does Mercedes Davis, but she is 2 laps down in this number 91 machine. And then we go further back. I see the 77 of Samet Osgin, no hood on his race machine. As for Alex Richardson, the 52. So this is going to be pretty interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, a third of the field is gone. So there are 24 trucks left on track, and 22 of them will be on the lead lap once we get ready to get this thing back going, which I think this time by, we should be getting one to go.
This will be an interesting one. Like I said, let's see how well they're able to manage these lap cars. It looks like we're about to go with we're going to go green with 21 laps to go.
You're right.
Almost half the race already.
Yeah, and I was actually gonna say that. Yeah, right around the halfway mark. So this is gonna be very interesting as to how this restart will unfold, and how the rest of the race is going to be determined here, as we are getting ready to take one to go this time by. And lights are out on the pace truck right about now, and lights are out around the racetrack. And here comes Monaco and Mercedes Davis. So to review your top 10 as we get ready to restart, for those that are tuning in, we're getting ready to restart after working our second caution that saw Michael Davis and David Byers go for a little tussle on the exit of turn number 4. Both drivers are still in this race. They're still going and on the lead lap, but you take a look down here from 25th on down, a numerous amount of trucks are out because of a crash that happened on lap number 8. And man, it was pretty ugly to say the least. But your top 10 looks like this once we get ready to go back under green flag racing. It is Liam Davis leading the way. Harley Higdon in second. Kelsey Higdon in third. Noah Chassault in fourth. And then in fifth is Tyler Ferris. Running in sixth is the 33 of Michael DeFeo. In seventh is Carson Green. Running in eighth is the 11 of Elijah Gordon. House in ninth. And then Emmanuel Hartnett, our points leader, rounds out your top 10.
I'm just re-looking at the points here before we go back to green. You mentioned two names that's currently in the top 10 right now, which is Liam Davis and Elijah Gordon. They are literally the last two in points right now. With all like you said, the third of the field out, this is a good points day for both of them, and it should bump them up at least a couple spots after the race is over, win or not. If they continue to keep running like they are.
I would agree with that one here. Gordon has just had himself an abysmal start to the season, and it has been abysmal since then. Here we go. Pace truck is off, and we are going to be starting the halfway lap this time by with now 21 laps to go. And look at the field here on this restart. Byers in the back is not going at all. Oh my, this actually is kind of an interesting development that we're seeing here with David Byers. That 42 is not even budging whatsoever, but take a look at the field here as they head down the back straightaway. Here comes Harley Higdon in the 31 down to the inside for the top position as they head back into turn number 3. You got Noah Chassault down there on the inside, along with Michael DeFeo in the 33 in tow. And here comes Gordon in the 11 up into the mix.
Like I said, and that split the field like we originally thought it would have.
Halfway home, 20 down, 20 to go in the 2026 Indiana Bash. Harley Higdon leads the charge. Liam Davis now moving back up into second. Our points leader, Emmanuel Hartnett, has now moved his way up into 9th position, getting by Ronald House without a problem.
This is going to be a good battle. This might be, if we don't get any more cautions, this might be the 10 drivers that could fight for the win.
And these keep in mind, these are some of the cleanest trucks that are on the racetrack right now. Kind of shades of Texas World this past Saturday, but I would definitely say this is going to be a lot more entertaining than what we saw at Texas World. No question about it. DeFeo trying to get to the inside of Liam Davis, but looks like he's going to slip back to third and maybe lose the third position to Noah Chassault. Not going to be the case there as DeFeo moves up.
Breakaway. Sorry to cut you off. We had one come out pit road, by the way. I did notice that.
That's Jesse Turner in the 2. He won this past Thursday at Charlotte in a pretty chaotic fashion, and pretty thrilling fashion, if I may say. But not having himself a good night here tonight. Currently running 22nd and has just been put one lap down. And Gordon!
What a save!
That was a brilliant save by the 11. Oh my goodness. I thought we were going to see more death, but thankfully, that's not the case. We're still green.
That was a amazing wheel by Elijah Gordon. Oh my God.
That was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable of what we just saw. And after all that, he's still inside of the top 10, mind you. He's just running in the 7th position, 7-11, mind you. But Carson Green, he's one spot away from breaking inside of the top 5. He's got to get by Kelsey Higdon here in this 15 machine. Actually, no, he might already... Actually, no. I thought he was going to be inside of the top 5, but I did not even realize that Noah Chastel was still up here, even though I just pointed it out not too long ago. But he's now going to be fighting for the 3rd position underneath of Michael DeFeo, and here comes Green. Oh, he couldn't even get the pass started there. He could not get the pass started on Kelsey Higdon. But it looks like he might be going to the outside, and I'm not sure how wise of a decision that would be, because that's going to leave the bottom opened up for Gordon to pounce.
And let's see if we can try this
Carson
again.
Green around! Off the bumper of Gordon! Back up into Hartnett!
Hartnett, wrong reverse about.
Oh, watch out for everybody else. Oh, no! Tucker involved. Carson Miller! No, Tall's in it. Oskin.
Oskin.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, even more. Alex Richards. Richards involved.
Uh-oh.
And wait just a minute. Liam Davis is in. Davis on pit road. Getting tires under this caution. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be very interesting. Harley Higdon led him back to the caution flag. With coming up to 15 laps to go, and I'm kind of questioning that strategy there by Liam Davis to pit under this caution flag. I wonder if he came in just as the pits were closing. But we're gonna have to find out if this is gonna benefit him. Oh man, there's Carson Green. He was having himself a really great run, and Green is out of it.
I feel like that may have been a little bit of retaliation. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but that looked like retaliation in this by the way that shaped out, because they had contact a couple laps prior, and the 11 saved it pretty well. Then a couple laps later, they're back together. I don't know if he got up and just by coincidence it just happened to be the 99, but man, that looked almost a little retaliation type.
Absolutely.
I'm not confident, but that's what it looked like.
And as everybody is on pit road, look at the 19 of Liam Davis. I'm wondering if that is going to be beneficial for him, as he is going to cycle back up. I think that might have been the winning strategy right here, as he cycles back up to the lead. Michael Davis moving up into second. As Harley Higdon, Davis did win the race off of pit road, mind you. Michael Davis in the 18. Harley Higdon comes out second. Chastel third. DeFeo fourth. Higdon fifth. Gordon sixth. Coming out in seventh, I believe, is going to be Tyler Ferris in the 45. Then Ronald House will come out eighth. Foster Henderson will be ninth. And then Chris Reynolds will complete your top 10. And Mercedes, I don't think that's how you use the access road.
I'm not sure about that one. I might have a talk with her later. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but but man, I'm still trying to get over what we just saw.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened with Gordon and Carson Green a couple of laps prior, because I want to take a look at that save. That was actually really interesting. So
it's an amazing save.
So what happened here is actually kind of interesting, because I think if we look at this replay, watch Noah Chastel in the 30. He's right around the outside. And then here's Gordon in the 11. I think he just drifts up the track. And then he's going to get into the 30. of Noah Chasau. So that I don't think that was payback whatsoever. But then here's Carson Green. He gets he may or may not have made contact in the left rear. I'm not too sure, but
I think he did. It kind of a little bit looked like he made some contact, maybe not intentional, but
yeah,
get a
if
closer
anything,
look at there.
yeah, if anything, I don't think it was intentional at all. Here it is from the onboard of Carson Green.
Yeah, they made contact and then just
Yeah,
Oh,
right
yeah.
there, right
Yeah.
there is the contact.
he said, but that 11 saved it though. That was probably one of the best saves in a while.
I would
That
agree
by
with that.
11.
And I don't think Carson meant to get into him there because he was just trying to react to the 30 and the 11 that that definitely got into one another, and that slowed the momentum down on both of them. And Green it just also had a full head of steam there. So I don't think he meant to do that. And then here we are just a couple of laps later. We're going to now follow along with Carson Green. Yeah, right here. As it looks like
45. I guess 45 may have a run on the bottom, which
yeah, and then I
looks
think
like
even
made
the
some
11 just did the
contact.
exact same thing as what he did a couple laps prior. This time gets into the left rear of Carson Green and then turns
45.
him.
That's
And poor Emmanuel
and
Hartnett
the
here.
99.
My goodness. Watch this for poor Emmanuel Hartnett. Just, third time was not the charm.
Hit.
His luck ran out. That is a shame for our points leader, Emmanuel Hartnett.
Nowhere to go. But that's not all.
That's not all yet.
You got all these cars coming with a head of steam behind.
Yeah, I
And then
believe.
just-
I think Sarah Taylor. I don't know if she's the first one to hit the 7. Oh yeah, she is right here. Oh, hard into the passenger side there. There's where Jesse Turner gets involved. Carson Miller makes contact with the
71.
5.
It looks like Friesen barely got pounced.
Wow, Ronald House just threading the needle there. Oh my goodness gracious. And
That
then
was luck, and then
Tallest just nowhere to go there.
Michael Davis barely got involved, and then
Oskin collecting that one. And then Alex
all
Richards.
of Beacon Academy.
Man, all the Beacon Academy racing just caught up in this one. But we're going to see.
How I mentioned? Go ahead, sorry.
We're also going to see Alex Richards come in at the very last second. And I think he's going to wind up hitting the 71 just before Miller teleports to pit road right there in the left rear.
Yes. Yeah. And he's teleported right when he's spinning. You know how I mentioned about like Russell Blaze would have been is also probably glad that he wasn't in this race because of the first crash that wiped out a lot of drivers. Well, I'm revisiting that because all 3 of his teammates was involved in this said crash, and that wiped out at least all 3 of them.
Yeah.
The same crash.
And I feel this is absolutely unfortunate. I feel for a lot of these drivers. I especially feel for Carson Green. Having himself a really great run here tonight, just gets turned off the bumper of Gordon. Inadvertently wipes out the points leader. Not much that Carson could do. He's just a passenger at this point. And then look at all this. Every one of these drivers just piles right in. Tolis, Oskin. You saw Jesse Turner and Sarah Taylor get involved. And then Alex Richards at the very last second gets into Carson Miller. Hard hits on the exit of turn number 4 here in Indianapolis. Byers gets into that one too.
Byers at the very end.
Oh my god! At the very last second, David Byers. This time, that 42 is junk.
And there is Liam Davis. I'm wondering if, like, on the way he saw that in the mirror and tried to get to there before the caution came out, try to play a little strategy.
That could have very well potentially been the case here, because I think that might have worked out into the favor of Liam Davis here in this 19. He pitted when that caution came out, and he cycled around everybody. And from the looks of things, he will be reassuming the race lead after all of that just transpired, closing in on 10 laps to go here in a few laps. Byers, Friesen, and Samet Oskin, they're going to be out of this one. That is a shame. Emmanuel Hartnett, Sarah Taylor, Carson Green. That's 17th position. Carson Miller, Tallis, Richards. And we're not going to have a whole lot of trucks left over here in this race.
It looks like at least the barely top 10, maybe, and I'm not counting lap cards right now, at least maybe like 11, 12 cars are going to be continuing in this race, and maybe 2 lap cars, or it could be the 2 lap cars are counted in on this. But oh my world, what a crazy race that we're seeing right now. I definitely say, like, looking at a couple of these names in the back, like Liam and Elijah Gordon are definitely going to have a good point today. And I think Max Anderson is still in this, just trucking away, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right now in the 12th position in the number 38 machine, especially after getting body slammed by Chris Reynolds earlier in the race that ultimately saved him from being involved in a second caution. But there he is in the number 38, just minding his P's and Q's right here behind Eric Monaco, who is 1 lap down in this race. So from the looks of things here, ladies and gentlemen, we are... looks like we might have ourselves 14 trucks left on the racetrack with at least 12 of them on the lead lap. So this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting shootout to the finish here, as we are closing in on 13 laps to go. And maybe at that point, we might get ourselves 1 to go.
Not to mention, like, with Emmanuel Hartnett being out of this race, that does give Michael Davis a chance to get a few points and to try and close that gap. And don't look now, Tyler Ferris in the 45 is up in the top, I think, 7th right now. He's trying to figure out a way to close the gap between Michael Davis and Hartnett to get up there. And I think with this, it will definitely close.
And that would be pretty interesting, because he started on the pole here for this race, and he has climbed his way back into contention and managed to also avoid a lot of the chaos that we just saw within the last 3 cautions. So he is definitely going to have a shot here with 1 to go. We're going to be restarting with 28 laps complete. And there it is right there. Yeah, we will have 14 trucks on the racetrack, 12 of them on the lead lap. Your top 10 is going to look like this as we get ready to go back under the green flag. It is the Davises, with Liam leading the way. Michael running in second, trying to get his second win of the year. Then Harley Higdon running in third. In fourth is Noah Shastal. Michael DeFeo rounds out your top 5. And then running in the 6th position, that is Kelsey Higdon. In 7th is Tyler Ferris. Then in 8th is the 11 of Elijah Gordon. 9th is Ronald House. And completing your top 10, that will be Chris Reynolds. And then Foster Henderson. And also the 38 of Max Anderson. Those are your 12 trucks that are on the lead lap. And man, I would definitely say here for Elijah Gordon, this, I mean, as an abysmal of a season that he has been having all year this year, I mean, and especially with a lot of controversy that he's faced with here tonight. I mean, past all that, I mean, he is going to have himself a really great run here tonight. Definitely going to capitalize and get a good amount of points. But as I mentioned, that's not going to come without some controversy.
Yes. But I tell you who won't have controversy, and we mentioned him, but even though she's one lap down, she's actually starting next to him, is Liam Davis, who's having an amazing race today. I would not be surprised if he's the one that finishes off and gets his first win and gets the final win for the full-timers for Davis Family Racing.
He got 4 fresh tires just as the caution came out, cycled back up to the race lead, and here we go. 12 to go from here at Indianapolis. And boy, look at the Davis Family Racing trucks of Liam and Michael right now running 1-2. Mercedes Davis kind of being a really great teammate to the both of them and letting them both check out. Here goes Harley Higdon, and oh no, they crash again. DeFeo up against the wall. Oh my goodness, and just like that, we're back under caution.
Well, at least that showed like who had more speed, being the one of the lap down cars, because Mercedes actually had a good start when she was next to her teammates and brother and nephew of both the Davises.
Man, and leading them back to the caution flag will be Liam Davis. And here's the thing here, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be restarting inside of 10 laps to go. Now, for those that are new, we are using the original NR 2003 rulings that are obviously used in 2003 all the way up until Pocono, I want to say, of 2009, where lead lap cars will line up on the outside, lap down cars will line up on the inside. But when we get inside of 10 laps to go, it is single file restarts all the way to conclusion. So that is going to be... This is going to be a very interesting restart when we get down to that point here, folks. And another thing that I'm also curious about is who's going to decide to come on down to pit road? Liam Davis, remember, he took 4 fresh tires. I would not be surprised to see him stay out on the racetrack. But as for everybody else, I don't know. This is going to be kind of interesting to see what the strategy is going to look like.
Anyone tries to roll the dice. Unless you're like in the back, I don't see why you would roll the dice. Speaking of that, it looks like we might with Michael. I think he did take 2 tires though. Michael Davis did take 2 tires, so yep, he's coming in.
Michael Davis is coming on down pit road. And man, such a shame also. Tyler Ferris is going to be out of this one, but Michael DeFeo, I believe, might also go out of the race as well. DeFeo had himself a really wild ride, as did Tyler Ferris, and we're going to actually take a look at that here. That caused our 4th caution of the night here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just absolutely wild stuff.
I think I did the commentator curse on the 45 there. I talked about him saying like he could probably gain the points up here. Now he got involved in this one, so I might have to have some blame on this one.
Here's a look at it here, folks. As they headed into turn number 2, DeFeo, I think he goes around the outside, or at least stays on the outside, but look at the 15 of Kelsey Higdon. No, that's Tyler Ferris in the 45. Shooting the middle between Higdon and also DeFeo, but looks like Higdon makes some contact with the 45, sends all 3 trucks go up into the outside wall. But DeFeo, of course, obviously he's going to get the worst end of that one as he just went wall riding off of turn number 2. Now, that's not the type of wall riding that you want to see here, folks. Definitely you don't want to be pulling the Truex from 2005 or Casey Kane from 2010. Zane Smith from last year. Definitely not the wall riding that you want to be seeing late in the going here, but that's exactly what Michael DeFeo just did there on the exit of turn number 2. And Ferris's night is going to be over, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see the night on this number 33 end here. That is just an absolutely wild ride that Michael DeFeo just took on the exit of turn number 2.
I don't know about the 15. I believe that was 15. I think she might be able to continue, but won't have but kind of won't have the speed as everyone else now.
But regardless of what happens here, she is still going to get some very good points here for tonight. And again, this is kind of reminding me of Texas World all over again. But of course, there's still more trucks that are in contention, and we're going to be able to see a really good finish amongst all these other drivers that are still on the racetrack. They're going to fight it out to try to get themselves a really good opportunity to, of course, get themselves some good points and maybe potentially add a win in that W column, or get a W in that little wins column in the point standings, of course. Liam Davis looking to add his name, add a W over to his column, as he is second to last in the standings. But it's going to be a very interesting restart with inside 10 laps to go. Michael Davis now rejoining the field. He's going to line up behind the 38 of Max Anderson here. And he better hope and pray that he can get around the 38 quickly, because if not, he is, I think it might be game over for Michael Davis.
I will say, despite the issues with Max Anderson, this will be a great points day for him, Liam Davis, and Elijah Gordon. I know I have a broken record, but I still believe that even with the wreck, Kelsey Hickton may get a few points.
Right now,
with all this is said and done.
Absolutely. Right now, she's currently scored in the 8th position as of right now. A little bit of damage to her truck, but I think she might be okay to go the rest of the way. And hopefully, we should be able to see this race all the way to conclusion under green flag conditions. And I'm hoping that is going to be the case, as Michael DeFeo will be taking his truck behind the wall. So we're going to have 12 trucks left on track, and the top 10 will be on the lead lap. This is absolutely chaotic. Oh my goodness.
I'll be honest, and I don't think this sport debate still better than Texas World.
I would 100% agree with that.
I'm still a little salty in the Cup Series when basically every single one of my cars except for CG wasn't even involved in the wreck in the beginning. Just we all crashed out on the crappy pit road that Tulsa World has.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that pit road is definitely not the best pit road. That pit road is definitely not the best pit road in all of motorsports here, ladies and gentlemen. But my goodness gracious, it's rather unfortunate. Rather unfortunate that we wound up getting the result that we did at Texas World. But regardless of that, we are getting ready to restart this race here. Next time around, we should get one to go. But ladies and gentlemen, this is actually going to be a very interesting finish. And I'm trying to get all the list of previous Indiana Bash winners together, because this is going to be, whoever wins this race, obviously, it's going to be some pretty elite company that some of these drivers will, that at least one of these drivers will be joining as winners of the Indiana Bash.
Not to mention, I'm pretty sure most of the field are drivers who have not even won. Besides Michael Davis, I don't think there's anyone else in the field that has won. Let me try and double check. Yep, no, I am correct. At least this season, I'm going to say. I haven't won yet this year. So this will be interesting.
One lap and we will be back to green flag racing. So far, your top 10 looks like this as they come to the restart. That is Liam Davis leading the way in second. That is Harley Higdon in third. That is the 30. The 30 machine of Noah Shestawa. Elijah Gordon in 4th. Completing your top 5, that is the 41 of Ronald House. In 6th is Chris Reynolds. In 7th is Foster Henderson, running in the 8th position. That is Kelsey Higdon. 9th is Max Anderson. And completing your top 10, that is Michael Davis. Closing in.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Let's say, is there any other part-timers in this race besides the 91 that are currently in the field?
As of right now, I want to say no. Well, there is Eric Monaco, but I think the rest of the other drivers that are contending for the win are full-timers. It is the field.
Still, another race, we won't have a part-timer winning, but this is going to be interesting.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. A single file restart. 10 trucks on the lead lap. Have a shot to win this thing. 7 laps to go. Liam Davis brings them down. And there goes Michael Davis. He got absolutely held up by the 20 and the 38, but now he makes his way down to the inside. Remember, he has 4 fresh tires, so he just got by the 38 of Max Anderson for the 9th spot. Meanwhile, up front, 4 trucks break away. Shestawa down to the inside of Harley Higdon. Gordon now going to look at the back bumper of the 31 as they hit it down through turn number 3. But Davis still leading the charge with Harley Higdon in tow as they come through turn number 4. 6 to go this time by.
And I think everyone's got clear of the lap. Because I think Mercedes is still in the very last pack there. But she's holding it up, but she's still racing pretty well. And looks like we got the...
Foster Henderson got into the wall. Almost. Henderson did get into the wall just a little bit, but he's still trucking. We're still green. Kelsey Higdon gets by. Here comes Michael Davis down to the inside of Mercedes Davis. Now going to try to go to work on Foster Henderson if he's going to have a chance.
I don't know. It's going to be close with the 4 fresh tires, but it would be interesting at the least. And we got battle for the lead right now.
Here comes Harley Higdon down to the inside of Liam Davis. 5 fingers in the air. 5 laps to go. And Liam Davis is going to hold off Harley Higdon as they head back into turn 1.
It looks like I think I'm not giving numbers. I do apologize, but I think the 30 is trying to make a move on the inside. Doesn't clear, but here comes the 11. He may try to make a move.
Still 4 trucks, all single file. All the way down the back straightaway until you get down to turn 3. Shestawa sends it in for the 2nd position. Gordon almost pounced and tried to make it 3 wide for 2nd. But Shestawa getting to the inside of Harley Higdon. Gordon almost making it 3 wide again. And that is exactly what Liam Davis wants to see. He wants to see those drivers duke it out for that 2nd position, because look at the gap that he is putting on the 31 as he pulls away.
Even at the 18. Oh, wait, the 18 is in 5th. He is clear. I think he cleared the other pack, so he may try to run him down. But as of this right now, I think it's a 4-truck race. He has a lot of gap to make up. I think it's just between those 4 trucks that'll win.
I think I would absolutely
really good speed.
I would absolutely agree. They're coming to 3 laps to go. Time is running out. Shestawa to 2nd, Gordon to the 3rd. Higdon gets kicked back to 4th as Liam Davis, almost with a half a second lead, now over the 30 of Noah Shestawa. Now here comes Gordon to the inside. This is the fight for the 2nd position. 3 to go. Gordon can't make anything happen. He tucks back in behind the 30. But here comes Harley Higdon now, trying to fight for that 3rd spot.
So the great battle as the 31 almost cleared. I think he did clear the. Yes, he did. He did clear the 11. So now this is going to be a great finish. As it looks like the 30 is trying to make a run
Oh!
on the 19 of the. Oh, so close.
Couldn't even get the pass started there. Didn't have a good enough run to get into turn number 3. 2 fingers up in the air this time. 2 laps of racing to go for Liam Davis. A win here at Indianapolis would be absolutely monumental for the Davis family racing team. They've been on a roll as of late. Of course, Ryan Davis winning at Brazil. Michael Davis winning at Martinsville. Man, just imagine if Liam Davis can get the job done here at Indianapolis. They've got a lap and a half to go.
Haley Thomas for the team gets the win out of Minnesota, like you mentioned. Ryan Davis won Daytona in the Xfinity Series, and then won. I don't remember what the road course is, but
Harley Higdon knows it's time to go. She moves up into the second position. Put that 31 in race mode as they come through turn number 4. They're going to see the white flag fall here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Liam Davis leads it. Will he be leading? Coming back to the checkers. Let's find out with 1 to go here in Indianapolis.
This has been a great race so far. Let's cap it off, see who will be the winner. They're coming out of turn 2 right now, and there's a big gap between 4th and 5th.
Lap traffic is up ahead. They will not be a factor. Back straight away one final time. Liam Davis, a third of a second ahead of Harley Higdon. And if he can hold on, he will join Noah Clifton, Owen Crafton, Duncan Ward, and Jordan Watt as an Indiana Bash winner. And here they come through turn number 4. It looks like the deal is sealed. Here comes Liam Davis down the front stretch. Checkered flag waves. Liam Davis wins here in Indiana. How about that?
Oh my world.
And they finally catch the lap traffic.
If it was one lap later, we would be talking about a different story to see who would win this because of lap traffic. But nonetheless, congratulations to the 19 and all of Davis Family Racing. In the truck series has won full-time, I should mention, has won a race this season.
How about that? All 3 trucks on the full-time side of Davis Family Racing are going to taste victory lane. Now with Liam Davis winning the 2026 Indiana Bash, he joins Noah Clifton, who won this race back in 2020. In 2022, it was Owen Crafton. In 2024, it was Duncan Ward. Last year, it was Jordan Watt. And now this year, Liam Davis comes home as an Indiana Bash winner. Harley Higdon will finish in the second position. In third will be the number 30 of Noah Chistow. Fourth will be Elijah Gordon. Great run for him tonight. Obviously, that's going to come with some controversy after his little confrontation or at least incidents on the racetrack with Carson Green. Michael Davis will round out your top 5. Then Chris Reynolds in 6th. House 7th. Higdon 8th. Foster Henderson 9th. And Max Anderson holds on to finish inside of the top 10 and on the lead lap. Obviously, the only other 2 trucks that finished a lap down or more, that being Eric Monaco and Mercedes Davis. They will be packing up and get ready to go racing at Charlotte this Saturday for the Coke 600 and take a look at from 13th all the way down to 36th. Everybody in that category just smelled what the Rock was cooking.
I feel like, that was a tough break for a lot of these drivers, especially they got knocked out in the first crash. A lot of big names that was up in the front, like the top 10 points. Bruno Giacomo is one of the ones. And was IC Chase McClure. We didn't even talk about Eli Bright at all, and he was a part of that first crash. Wayne Lopez, just a lot of big names that were a part of this. crash.
And even our
And
points
tough one for
leader.
Emmanuel Hartnett.
Yeah, I was about to say, even our points leader, Emmanuel Hartnett, got caught up in an incident over in turn 3. Of course, that involved Elijah Gordon and Carson Green. Green is still going to get a decent amount of points, but I'm sure it's not the result that he was wanting. He was hoping to go to victory lane here tonight, but obviously Gordon dashed those dreams here tonight, unfortunately. But man, still, what a race. I got to see a really good finish all the way to the end. And Liam Davis comes home as a winner here in the Menards Truck Series. Absolutely unbelievable race from here in the Indiana Bash, Wyatt.
An amazing race, full of chaos. Now the only question I got next is, when is Mercedes' chance to win in either the trucks or the North Energy Cup Series? Because she is the only one of the Davis family team that has not won in any series yet.
Well, that's definitely going to be a great question. Maybe in the next time out, when the Truck Series comes back at the Michigan International Speedway, that is going to be the next time you see these Menards Truck Series drivers on the June 18th through 20th weekend. So these drivers get a really nice break. But as for Mercedes Davis herself, who knows? I mean, she's been holding her own on a consistent basis, kind of hanging around the top 10, 15 area in the point standings. And who knows, maybe this weekend could be the weekend that we see Mercedes Davis go to victory lane in the NOS Energy Cup Series and give Davis Family Racing their second win on the Cup side, and make sure that all of Davis Family Racing, at least the family that is, visits victory lane at least one time. It very well could potentially happen. But Wyatt, the pleasure to have you here with us here for tonight, calling the race here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And as we get ready to head over to Charlotte, you won the Coke 600 this past November, and definitely, hopefully brought you. Are you hoping that you got the same car that you won at Charlotte with this past November, that you could definitely get the job done again this year?
Yes, I have definitely got all my notes from last year with the car that I brought. I've always said prior, in real life or out in I've always felt like number 19 and Charlotte just mix so well. It proved that for me last year. We won. Got my first win. Got my first win at Charlotte. I would love to go back to back if able to, and get my 19 victory lane again, or get another member of my team another victory. We haven't been doing all that well last few weeks. Not some of it was pit road, Texas World. Some of it was just like not really being up front like we wanted to. But hopefully after this, especially for my car, for my own car, we have not had a good season. Hopefully, one of my favorite tracks did get turned around, and we just keep on dominating, or try to get back to dominating, I should say.
Well, fingers crossed, because you definitely do enter Charlotte in a pretty big hole in the point standings. So hopefully this race here at Charlotte coming up here for you, hopefully that is the turning point to your season. Again, thank you so much for joining me here to call the race here, Wyatt, and we'll see you at Charlotte this coming weekend.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we talked about, of course, Wyatt brought up here earlier that it was the 19 and Charlotte Motor Speedway definitely mixing pretty well. Well, here tonight, the 19 and Indianapolis Motor Speedway mixed pretty well, with Liam Davis going to victory lane here in the Menards Truck Series. Want to thank you guys a lot for watching the 2026 Indiana Bash here for the WRLA Menards Truck Series. After, of course, now at this particular rate, we're at the halfway mark of the season. We're going to be here when we go to Michigan here on June 18th. But man, these truckers are going to have themselves a really nice break before we get back at it at the Michigan International Speedway. But as far as the rest of our WRLA festivities, we'll be heading down to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we're going to be visiting the Xfinity Series tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for their longest race of the season. And then following that will be our Coca-Cola 600 on the 30th of May at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to keep an eye on the point standings if you are in the WRLA Discord for the Truck Series points. And if you guys are watching this live on Twitch, be sure to hit that follow button so you do not miss a future stream. If you're watching the full race premiere on YouTube, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to consider subscribing in order to keep up with all the WRLA content throughout the 2026 season. And again, thank you so much to Wyatt Walker for joining me here to call the race. And thank you so much, and a big congratulations to Liam Davis on getting the job done here tonight at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Have yourselves a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you all at the Charlotte Motor Speedway tomorrow night for WRLA Xfinity Series Racing. This WRLA telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without any authorized written consent of 11 Broadcasting. WRLA would like to thank all of our loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.